Okay, so good morning, everyone. Um, I bring you another tutorial today, and this one happens to be a multiple uh, choice question paper for biology and whatever code of biology that you are using from whichever institution that you are from. I advise that you get to know these questions and make sure that you'll be able to know how to answer these particular questions. So I got interested in this question paper that was made by, I'm sure you are able to see the name there. Okay, so it's a wonderful question paper, and hope you'll be able to learn something even as I answer this particular questions rather. Okay, so this is multiple choice questions on carbohydrates. And if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, just ensure that you do so. Hit the like button and share to others so that you will be able to receive almost every video that I will be able to upload. Okay, so we get into our usual business. I guess this was a pop-up quiz for students because the numbers are jumbled. But then I will be able to answer all of them and you'll be able to learn something from here. Question 26. Wow. A positive Benedict test is not given by A. Lactose, B. Maltose, C. Sucrose, D. Glucose. Okay, so here you discover that they're just asking you concerning simple sugars, right? Simple sugars. So now, when we talk in terms of simple sugars, you realize that the simple sugars that we have glucose, same class with maltose, but same class with lactose. You discover that at the end of it all, the one which is not given by a positive Benedict test is simply sucrose. Therefore, the best answer is simply C. Okay. Question 27. The most important epimer of glucose is A. Arabinose, B. Fructose, C. Galactose, D. Xylose. Okay, so this one is just a fact. The most important epimer of glucose is galactose. Therefore, the best answer is C. Question 28. Analog of starch is A. Cellulose, B. Glycogen, C. Sucrose, D. Pentose. Okay, so the best answer, guys, is simply B, because the analog of starch is simply glycogen. Okay, so that's just the answer. All right, so we get to the next question. Wow, so this one they're saying glucose is a monosaccharide and is a, so glucose is a monosaccharide and is A. Hexose, B. Pentose, C. Furanose, D. Sucrose. Well, glucose is a monosaccharide and is A. The best answer is A. Hexose. Okay, so glucose is hexose, and the reason as to why A is the best answer is because glucose has got 6 carbon atoms, and those 6 carbon atoms are simply what qualifies it to be hexose. Hex means 6. Okay, so we get to the next question. It's saying linkage between two monosaccharides is okay, so what is the linkage that is found in monosaccharides? That's just the question. A, ionic bond. B, covalent bond. C, hydrogen bond. D, glycosidic bond. Well, in carbohydrates, the type of bonds that we find in there are glycosidic bonds. Okay, glycosidic bonds. Therefore, the best answer is D. Okay, question 31. If carbonyl group is an aldehyde, monosaccharide is if carbonyl group is an aldehyde, then monosaccharide is A, ketos, B, tetros, C, aldose, D, they are saying maltose. Okay, so I'll disqualify maltose. I'll remove ketos. Let me remain with tetros and aldose. But then the best answer is already seen. Okay, so they are saying if carbonyl group is an aldehyde, monosaccharide is simply an aldose. Okay, the best answer is C, aldose. Okay, so very simple. Question 32 is saying 3 carbon monosaccharides are called as A, trioses, B, tetros, C, pentose, D, hexoses. But then they are saying that 3 carbon monosaccharides are called as. Now, since we have 3 carbons, then we expect our answer to be a tri something. Okay, so if this is tetros, it means 4. If this is pentose, it means 5. If this is hexose, it means 6. But since we're talking about 3 carbon monosaccharide subunit, then automatically our best answer is A. So it is supposed to be A, triose. Question 33. Starch is a glucose polymer in which glucopyranose units are bonded by. Starch is a glucose polymer in which glucopyranose units are bonded by A, alpha linkages, B, beta linkages, C, gamma linkages, D, none of the above. Well, so starch is a glucose polymer in which glycopyranose units are bonded by. The best answer is A. Okay, it is simply alpha linkages. Okay, alpha linkages, those are the ones by which glucose polymer are bounded in glycopyranose. Okay, so it is simply alpha linkages. Oh, question 34. They're saying the minimum number of carbons in monosaccharide is. The minimum number of carbons in monosaccharide is A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, D, they're saying 4. Alright, so it's just the fact the minimum number of carbons in monosaccharides is simply 3. It may even go up to 7 somewhere there, but the minimum number of carbons in monosaccharide is 3. Okay, so when you learn about triglycerides, you learn about those simple carbohydrates, get to know that the minimum number of carbons that may be contained in monosaccharides is simply 3. Okay, so C is the best answer. Alright, so we get to another question. Question 35, they're saying are examples of are. Alright, so I think I'll need to first of all define what an epimer is by definition. So it is simply stereoisomers that contain more than one chirocarbon but differ from each other in the configuration. Okay, stereoisomers that contain more than one chirocarbon but differ from each other in the configuration at only one chirocarbon. So to those of you that really study, I'm sure you've already seen the answer. Well, let's get to the options. They're saying glucose and galactose, B, glucose and ribose, C, they're saying this is mannose and glucose, A and C. Alright, so the best answer is simply glucose and galactose. Those are the examples of epimers, common examples of epimers. They are not the only ones, but they are the common examples of epimers. Alright, so majority of the monosaccharides found in the human body are A, L type, B, D type, C, DL types, D, none of the above. Alright, so the majority of the monosaccharides that are really found in the human body is simply A, D type. Okay, so the best answer is B, D type. Alright, okay. So D type. So just make sure that you get to learn something, the more you get to know this, the more you get to practice, the better you become even in your exams. So things really become simple because you get to learn something, multiple choice questions. At the same time, you also get to study, so it helps you remember quite a lot of concepts in a short period of time. Okay, let's get to another question, a very interesting question. All right, so for hydrolysis of starch, enzyme used is, well, guys, I don't really know this question. I don't know how to answer this question, but then, all right, let me just answer it. So for hydrolysis of starch, enzyme used is, all right. So we know that digestion in the human body begins where? In the mouth. All right. So it begins in the mouth. Now, the enzyme that is really needed is one that okay. All right. So we continue. Where did we end? Okay, so for hydrolysis of starch, enzyme used is A, glycosylase, amylase, polymerase, helicase. Okay, so like I was saying, digestion in the human body begins in the mouth, and the best enzyme that operates in there at an optimum pH of about 7 at a temperature of 37 degrees Celsius is the amylase. So that's enzyme that is required for hydrolysis of starch. And just the fact that's the enzyme that really works on starch, okay, in the mouth. So, well, I knew just how to answer that question. Sugar that makes up RNA: A, ribose; B, deoxyribose; C, glucose; D, pentose. This question is quite simple because we know that in DNA we found deoxyribose, but in RNA we find a ribose. Therefore, the best answer is simply A. Maltose exists in, this is just a fact. The best answer is an alpha configuration. All right. The best answer is A. This alpha configuration, beta configuration, gamma configuration, all of the above. The best answer is A. So that's just a fact. 40. Question 40, they're saying on heating, starches are A, insoluble in water; B, soluble in water; C, becomes a regular geometrical shape, no effect of heat. Okay, so one thing that you must understand about this is that when starch is put in, let's say, cold water, it becomes insoluble, okay? But when the same starch is put in hot water, then automatically it becomes soluble. So upon heating, starches are soluble in water. Okay, best example, you look at milling